ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. In this video, let us examine what are the various aspects and ways to fulfill one's aspiration in life as observed by a master. See, when a research was done about the 500 most successful people in the world, they took a cross section of the people. There were industrialists like Henry Ford, there were social reformers like Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, there were artists like Picasso, there were sports people like Pele, there were political reformists like Abraham Lincoln. So across all the fields, they identified 500 most successful people and did a research to find out, are there any common qualities between successful people. The research did lead, and in that they identified a lot of individual geniuses in each one of them, a lot of unique traits in each of them. Yet ironically, they found out that all the 500 people had 7 qualities which was common. See, the first quality is untiring passion. All of them were absolutely passionate about whatever they involved themselves in. See, nothing they did half-hearted. Either they did not do it or they did it with 100% passion. That means whatever they did it with 100% passion. So anything they did, there was passion for excellence, there was passion to stand out, the passion to be above the crowd, the passion to be number one. That means highly passionate about whatever they did. Passion and tiredness do not go hand in hand. When you are doing what you are passionate about, you cannot be tired. And if you are tired, it simply means you are not passionate about anything in life. While pursuing something you are passionate about, suppose you are practicing or pursuing something you are passionate about, you cannot be tired and you will not know how many hours went. And if you are not passionate about, you will check your watch a number of times during satsangs or a speech, etc. So you are passionate about sports, you cannot be tired. You see, when you do yoga, when you do exercises, when you are playing something like that, etc., you will not get tired, you cannot be tired. So if it is tiring, you are losing passion to whatever you are doing. If there is something that never used to tire you and of late it is tiring you, that means you are losing passion for it, and that means in whatever you are doing you are losing passion for it. So you are not passionate about it anymore. Man is not designed for tiredness. Man becomes tired as he is indulging in things in which he is not passionate about. So now the second aspect is mastery in communication. So all of them had mastery in communication, because it does not matter how passionate I am, what my ideas are, it still needs to be expressed into the world outside. Nobody makes it alone. I need to empower people. Could be our own team, could be some group outside, could be for a government to change a constitution to bring amendment to it. So, in getting the world to believe in what I believe in, so I cannot win the world to my cause if I am not a master in communication, because life is not about what I think, it is about how I am able to express what I think to the world outside. Life is not about how I feel, it is about my ability to express to the world what I feel. Everything in life is communication. Everything in life, my dear. Bible is a communication of Jesus Christ. Bhagavad Gita is a communication of Veda Vyas. Scriptures are a communication of a spiritually evolved soul. Mahatma Gandhi was considered a leader par excellence because he knew to play with the words. A lot of people have done a lot of things, but Mahatma Gandhi had one edge. He knew how to communicate. So we all know Vivekananda, and through Vivekananda we know Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, because Vivekananda had mastery in communication. Every revolution in the world was triggered by a master communicator. People you voted to did not vote to because you understood their value system or you were convinced about their ethicality. They knew to communicate and convince you. Please remember, some of the best players in the world have never been good captains because they did not know how to communicate. Everything is communication. Then the third aspect is creating efficient team. See, they had the ability to create teams around them. See, relationship naturally come to them. See, whatever they did, they could create a team around them. Without the 12 disciples, we would have never known who is Jesus Christ. He was able to put a team around him. So, Arjuna had the ability to get Lord Krishna into his team. Lord Rama succeeded as Hanuman was in his team. All of them had this ability to build a group of team or people around them. All of them had lived their life out of high energy levels. It is linked to passion, but they never seem to be tired. Then the fourth aspect is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm was an integral part of anything and everything they did. Enthusiasm is derived from entheos, means to be in touch with God. That is what the Greeks believed. The Greeks believed that you have to be ever in touch with God. You don't have to do rituals. You don't have to do different forms of prayer. You don't have to believe in symbolizing anything. Live your life enthusiastically and you are in touch with divinity and God, because that divine energy will keep flowing through you, my dear. Vedas put it differently. Right action is that action which generates the energy required for the action by itself, and then it adds. Any action you perform enthusiastically will self generate the energy that is required for the action. So you cannot become tired. If you become tired, it is only because you are not doing. So everything is linked. Enthusiasm, passion, high energy levels, all of them, all were known to live their lives. So with all these qualities, out of high energy levels. So the fifth aspect is faith. So all of them, I mean all of the successful people had anchored to some form of faith. For an Isaac Newton, it was science. For somebody else, it was meditation. For somebody else, it was the cause they believed in. The cause was their God. I believe in this cause. For an Ambedkar, cause was his God. For some people, they believed in God, but they believed in a force beyond them. Remember, my dear, it could be a cause, it could be a God, it could be energy, it could be a process, it could be science. But they all understood dance is greater than dancer, music is greater than musician, wisdom is greater than a teacher, and there is something beyond the instrument which is performing whatever it is, my dear, said the master. All of them, their life was anchored to faith. They innately knew nothing of me, everything of you, in the way they lived their life. They never deviated from faith. So, the sixth aspect is strong value system. They had a value system that governed their decision making. Their decisions were not made by moments, situations, moods, whims and fancies, vulnerabilities, peer pressure. Their decisions came out of their value system. Whatever that value system, you may not believe. See, Osama bin Laden had a value system. You may not agree with his value system. Adolf Hitler had a value system. He made his decisions based on his values. So, in our uh, country, that is India, Tata had made a small car costing about rupees 1 lakh. So he want to give that four-wheeler vehicle to a small family. That was his dream, and he never worked out the profit and loss. He only had that dream. He had that passion to give a family car to a small family, and he has done it. See, so like this, they had a value system. Their value system made the decisions. They sometimes change the values, upgrading upgrade their values, reformed their values. They lived their entire life believing one way, and then they woke up to realize that what I believed was right till now is actually wrong, and they have gone through transformation. See, but their decision always came from their value system, which means when your decisions are made by a value, I mean, for a country, you call it a constitution. For an organization, you call it policies. For a society, you call it principles. For an individual, you call it values. By whatever name you call it, but they always made decisions based on a decision making framework that they had. So, when you have a decision making framework from where all decisions are made, there are no tougher decisions, no easy decisions. There are only decisions when you make a decision from that value system. It is only when you don't have a decision making framework, then based on your emotions, certain times, certain decisions looks very difficult decisions, tough decisions. See, when you have a value system, then there is no question of who, it does not make a difference. One example, there are so many examples but we can discuss later. See, the final aspect is methodology. They all had a methodology on how to achieve what they wanted to achieve. They did not go and ask the world, show me how to achieve this. They had an aspiration, they learned from everybody, but finally they were. See, non-violence was the methodology of Mahatma Gandhi. Meditation was the methodology of Gautama Buddha. So, oratory skills was the methodology of Swami Vivekananda. So, design engineering was the methodology of Steve Jobs. So, all of them had a methodology on how to achieve what they wanted to achieve in life. Simply put, they never said, somehow I want to achieve it. They knew how to achieve it. There was no somehow, there was only how. They had a methodology to achieve it. So, please go through, listen carefully all these aspects when you want to fulfill your aspirations in life, concluded the master. So, thank you all.